हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, कैसे हैं आप सब? वेलकम टू अ ब्रांड न्यू एक्सप्लेनर। आज हम एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट एंड ऑनेस्टली अ सुपर इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक पे बात करेंगे, द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, स्पेसिफिकली उसको बनाने वाली कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली की कहानी। तो चलिए, लेट्स बिगिन दिस इनक्रेडिबल जर्नी ऑफ हाउ आवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन केम टू बी।
So have you ever stopped to think about it? ये जो आज़ाद भारत की रूल बुक है, our संविधान, the very foundation this entire country runs on, आखिर ये बना कैसे? Who made it? How did this whole journey even begin? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
And just so you know, for this entire session, we are using these notes as our main source. This way, you can be sure that all the information is completely authentic. Think of these notes as our guide for understanding this topic.
Okay, so first things first, where did this idea even come from? ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट है कि संविधान बनाने के लिए एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली होनी चाहिए, this wasn't originally an Indian concept. The idea actually came from Britain, and countries like America and France had already done it. We took that concept and adapted it for India's needs.
All right, let's have a little quiz, just like in class. Can you tell me who was the very first person in India way back in 1895 to demand a constituent assembly? Think about it. What could be the answer?
And the correct answer is Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Yes, he made this demand for the first time in 1895 through his Swarajee Bill. Now, this is a crucial point, everyone. This was literally the first instance of an Indian demanding a dedicated body to frame laws for their own country.
But you know, this journey wasn't easy at all. After that first demand, a whole series of demands followed. But the British government, well, they consistently kept saying no. Let's take a look at this long struggle.
What's really fascinating here is this timeline of rejection. Just look at this. After Tilakji in 1895, Mahatma Gandhi in 1922 said that the Indian Constitution will be according to Indians. Then, in 1924, Motilal Nehru put forth a demand, and again in 1936 at the Phase-Poor session of Congress. But every single time, the answer was the same: rejected.
So, what happened? What changed that made the British finally agree? The answer, in short, is World War II. When the Second World War began in 1939, the British desperately needed India's support. And that, right there, changed the entire political scenario. It was the turning point. So with that in mind, here's another question. In 1942, which plan was it where the British government for the first time accepted in principle that an elected constituent assembly would be formed in India after the war? Go on, take a guess.
And the answer is the Cripps mission. Sir Stafford Cripps brought this proposal. Now, even though the mission ultimately failed because Indian leaders didn't agree to its conditions, it was still a huge step forward. Why? Because for the very first time, our demand was officially accepted.
After the failure of the Cripps mission, the Cabinet Mission Plan finally arrived in 1946. Now, this was the plan that actually laid out the entire blueprint, the whole structure of the Constituent Assembly. Let's dig into how this plan laid the foundation.
According to the Cabinet Mission Plan, the Constituent Assembly was to have a total of 389 members. Yep, 389. This number was carefully decided to represent the whole of India at the time.
And these 389 seats were divided into two main parts. As you can see in this chart, 296 seats were to come from British India. Those were the areas under direct British rule. And the remaining 93 seats were reserved for the princely states.
Now, let's break down those 296 British India seats even further. 292 members were to be elected from the 11 governors' provinces, and 4 members were to come from the chief commissioners' provinces, and those 4 were Delhi, Ajmer Marwar, Coorg, and Baluchistan. It just shows how detailed the planning for representation really was.
So, the blueprint was ready. Now it was time to actually form the assembly. And for this, elections were held in July-August of 1946. So let's see what the results of these elections were.
The elections were held for the 296 seats, and as you can clearly see from this bar chart, Congress won by a landslide, securing 208 seats. The Muslim League got 73 seats, and the remaining 15 went to smaller groups and independents. This result made it very clear that Congress was going to be the dominant force in the assembly.
After the elections, the Constituent Assembly held its first meeting on the 9th of December 1946. The most senior member, Dr. Sachidanand Sinha, was appointed as the temporary president. But a very important thing happened. The Muslim League boycotted this meeting, demanding a separate nation. This boycott, well, it pretty much cleared the path for the partition later on. Just 2 days after that, on December 11th, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected the permanent president and H.C. Mukherjee became the vice president. And from here, the work of making the Constitution moved forward.
Okay, class. So that was the story of how the assembly was formed. I hope everything is crystal clear. Now, how about a quick rapid-fire remission round? Are you ready?
First question. On the basis of which plan was the Constituent Assembly set up? Tell me quickly.
And the correct answer is, of course, the Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946. Excellent. Let's do one more.
Question number 2. In 1922, who was it that said, "The Indian Constitution will be according to the will of Indians"?
Yes, absolutely right. The answer is Mahatma Gandhi. Great revision, everyone.
So that was the story of the assembly that created our संविधान. अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आई हो, तो please do like it, comment with your feedback, and of course, share it with your friends. और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें so you keep getting more helpful videos like this one. For more practice questions, join us on Telegram. The link is in the description. And hey, if you want me to make a video on a specific topic, let me know in the comments below. I'll try my best to make a video on it.